Who were we? I don't see your comment about who you wanted to try and connect to. And I'm seeing I'm here, and can you see my comments? So Miss B, I'm doing a Joel. Okay, I'm doing a mediumship reading for Rebecca, and that'll probably be my last one for the night because it's already 11:15 here. All right, Joel. Can I ask who Joel is to you? Or maybe we'll see if that information comes through. He gives me brother energy, almost. Like a friend that's like a brother, if that makes sense. Best friend. I thought I had car accident there as well. But that could be me getting in my own head. I said it as you typed it, yeah. But like a brother, yeah. Is there... Do you understand car accident? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I heard. Sometimes I second guess myself, but I will still come through with the information and go, maybe I'm getting in my own head. So he tells me yes for other people being in the car with him. Does that make sense? So I'm a little bit confused because I feel like there was some switching of seats going on. He showed me like driver's seat. He should have been in the driver's seat, but was in the passenger. Literally goosebumps. Yeah. I don't know if I'm reading that bit right. But he's... Okay, this is all, yeah, unanswered and what really wanted to know. So where... Do you know where he was found, like whether it was the passenger seat or the driver? Because the way he's showing it to me is like he's sitting in the passenger seat looking back or looking towards the driver's seat. Like I can see the steering wheel, I can see the driver's seat. But he also inverts that and shows me that I should have been sitting here, and if I was sitting here, I wouldn't be there. Do you have any idea if anybody else was driving or if he was driving? Or if there were other people in the car with him? All unanswered and what I really wanted to know. Let's see if we can get some more around this. Later, sadly, and they say he was the driver. Okay. There's reason to believe there was others going by, but nobody owned up. Hang on, Beck. I want to see if I can bring you up. Beck, would you like to come up so that you're not typing and it's just better to like grasp your side of the story, if that makes sense? And I've got to fix my chair because the gas is disappearing in it. Okay, so you can jump up with either the camera on or off, whatever you're comfortable with. Let's see if I can invite you. Yes. So I've sent an invite. And let me turn my music off so it's not, the background noise isn't...
Hello, how are you?
Did you want your camera on or did you want it off?
No, that's okay. I'll leave it off. Thank you.
Okay, no worries, all good. So, do you have questions about where he was sitting, if he was driving or if he wasn't?
Well, so not so much. I don't know how to answer it. So I'll give you a bit of a background. So he was always like I don't know, he's a beautiful person. He got a bit mixed up with the wrong.
He shows me he's very, very happy.
And the most loyalist person. He did get a bit mixed up with some not so good people, to put it a good way. And then he sort of just disappeared, and his family, we were all looking, and I'd said to my partner by day 3 that I knew he was not alive, and everyone's saying, oh, he's probably just, like with the people he's hanging with, he's probably on a bit of a bender. He could be different states. And I was like, nah. It was close to Christmas. I was like, he never not contacted my little girl. He called, was basically his niece. He had nieces of his own, and he always, regardless, kept contact with his mum. He had 2 dogs that he never left at all for anything, so it was just all, but he was actually found a month later.
Were they did he have larger dogs? Was one a brindle?
Yes, that was Taser.
He's showing me, the brindle, and the larger. Did he go pigging with them?
Yeah.
So he's showing me that. I've got goosebumps. They're your goosebumps that I can feel.
I have physical goosebumps, it's.
So what he shows me, so this is so he's showing me that he's actually in the passenger seat, because what he's doing is he's positioning me in the driver's seat so that I can see him. And when I'm looking at him, he's laughing and smiling and joking. He actually feels like he's eating something. And then he doesn't show me the impact, but he lets me know that on impact there was nothing else. He didn't feel any pain. He didn't see anything. It was all done. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he doesn't show me he was suffering or anything along those lines. There's nothing there to say that he was, suffering in his human vessel and things like that. He just sort of shows me this is what was happening. I was smiling, laughing, and then he shows me impact, and then that was it.
Yeah.
I actually feel like hang on. He makes me feel that there was a grandfather figure there to collect him as well.
His grandfather passed, yeah.
Okay.
Not long before him, maybe. Maybe a year or 2 before him. Maybe a year or 2 before him.
Yeah. Because he shows me that he didn't get to feel anything. He was already basically the way that it's an intervention, the way that he sort of describes it. It was it happened, but I was already removed from that.
No. So do you know whether he was traveling, which direction he was traveling when it happened? Does he mention?
So as I'm driving, he makes me feel like I'm heading west, because I can see sun in front of me, and I can see it darkening slowly behind me, if that makes sense. Or most of the sunlight was in the direction that he was driving.
Yeah.
But he doesn't make me feel like it still feels like mid-afternoon, 3-4 p.m.
Yeah. So it's hard to tell. We don't actually know, because it was.
What was the timeline that you guys got?
Us. So he, like I said, he'd been missing for a long time, and when he was actually discovered, he was discovered by an older couple that were walking in a river. He'd actually gone off the side of the road, but the way the car was placed, it just doesn't make sense, because it's a big, massive drop off, and all the trees were just snapped down, completely covering the car. We've all driven that road multiple times, couldn't see it. And it was just an old couple that used to live in the area that had come back, and he was showing his wife around that they actually discovered the vehicle, completely disguised.
Did he go through a guardrail? It shows me a guardrail on the bend.
There's a guardrail right beside, but where they're saying he didn't hit the guardrail, where they're saying it's happened was he's run off the side of the road and down the big embankment. Yeah, which is right beside the guardrail. No damage to the guardrail.
He's showing me the car head first, nose first.
Yeah. It went onto big piles of rocks. So yes, it was nosedived in.
Yeah.
But
did
because
the trees I was going to say, did the trees cradle or hold the car a bit, if that makes sense?
They sort of were just like, they weren't snapped. There was no damage to them. It was like they were just like nicked at the bottom and placed down very precisely. Like it was weird. There was no skid marks, no anything like that to even show. Like, yes, the front end was quite smashed in.
That's because they were already over before they realised what had happened. Like, I see distractions. Do you know how many were in the vehicle? Because at the moment I feel like there's him and one other.
So it's funny you said that. So the background to that is he didn't have a SIM. I remember he come to my work and he didn't have any ID. He needed a new SIM card, so I put it in my name for him.
Yeah.
So we could contact, family, whatever. Like I said, he was on a bit of a rough road, very out of character for him. But so upon him going missing, I'd actually cancelled the SIM card because like he was gone with not good people, and you know, I was like, hang on a second, if something goes down that's registered in my name, and I'd spoke to him about it. But anyway, so I got the last records off the phone from Telstra, and from what the story is, it was to a female that was with him that had been in the vehicle. He had no license, but the story was she needed to come back to Bowen, which is 45 minutes away from where they were in Collinsville. And he has successfully dropped this woman to Bowen and then's never made it home. Now that's her story. The messages, I obviously couldn't see messages.
I see him driving, where I see him is he's driving to Collinsville.
So that's the direction the car was facing to. So she's trying to say he's dropped her off, and on the way back he's nodded off and gone to sleep. So if that's true, then he was the only one in the vehicle?
No, because he's showing me moments before impact there was somebody else in the vehicle. And I don't see who that person is.
This is weird because that's another assumption. So there was quite a few. His phone was completely smashed, destroyed. They couldn't get anything from it. The SIM card was even removed from the SIM card slot and not found in the area. So that's a mystery. But another, like, we live in a very small town and, word travels, whether it's true. But another story was she had, forced him to drive her. He didn't want to. He was tired. He delivered her because another man had threatened if he didn't bring her back, then he was going to harm this man. And the theory was that when he delivered this girl, this man has then took possession of the vehicle and it's gone from there. There's no actual proof. Police didn't investigate it, sadly, because it had been like a month and a half by the time he was found. So like, there was, as you can imagine, the state, there was not much to identify by. It had to be by metal. There was no anything really left. So that is still on.
He shows me the car. He still shows me a lot of daylight there. Like, I've been through there many, many times throughout the years.
Yeah. And that's the thing, we all drove so many of those.
What the weather was like that day? Because I see it was cloudy. Do you know what the weather was like that day?
So we don't even know what day he went. We don't even know what day it happened. Still to this day, we don't. It was just after a couple of days, and I'd raised the alarm with his family because he was very big in keeping in contact, especially with my little girl. Like, he always messaged, and like, even if it was just a, I'm okay, you know what I mean? Like, that was just how he was. But and then when I'd heard nothing and I messaged his mum, it was Christmas, his mum and his sister were both like, we've heard nothing, do you know where he is? And I was like, no, this is really out of character. Like, so no one actually knows the date it happens. Nobody.
So he's showing me like the tow truck retrieving the vehicle. I still don't know what does he have a ute?
Yeah, it was a little Nissan Navara two-door ute.
Okay. Yeah. Was it white?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he have the dog cages on the back too, did he?
Yeah, but the dogs weren't in it.
Yeah, no, I don't see the dogs in it. I see the dog cages. Did he have a rifle license? This is just random stuff that he showed me.
He definitely didn't.
He didn't?
No.
But he knew a rifle well, though, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, familiar with how they use it and everything. Yeah. Yeah, because when he shows me, he's very comfortable with it. So what he's showing me is like that being removed, tow trucks in the way, police cordoning off both sides of that highway.
Yeah.
I'm just asking him if there's anything else he can show me that he'd like me to bring forward for you. I also want to, so while I'm doing that, I'm also asking him to bring through ways that he's around you and your daughter as well, so that you get to walk away feeling a little bit better and knowing that he's around you and what ways in particular. Who's the smoker? He shows me female smoker. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Did he try and, like, would he try to tell you to put it out or put it down, or did he not like you smoking?
No, so he smokes cigarettes too. My partner recently gave up and I'm the only one that still does it, so he's probably saying now to stop.
Yeah, okay. It feels funny. So I want you to pay attention on a day that's not so windy when you're sitting at the back or sitting around the side. I don't know why I'm saying it because I don't honestly know where you're sitting, but he's saying sitting around the back, sitting around the side. So I don't know if that makes sense to you. But he's saying when you're doing that, on a day where you don't have the breeze, pay attention to where your smoke's blowing. If it's blowing directly in your face or literally looks like someone just going in your face, you won't feel him blowing in your face, but you will have all of the smoke in your face.
Yeah. That's crazy because I sit out, it's sort of at the back of my house, but it's to the side. It's like two big cement terraces. So that's exactly where I literally sit and smoke.
He also seems like a little bit of a, he likes to see others around him laughing, which is why he comes through and does that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
He likes to see others smile. Did you guys have, I was gonna say, did you guys have like an opportunity to date, or was that like thrown in there but brushed off?
Oh, when I was a lot younger, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so he's showing that. But he's also letting me, like, it could never be because we're too much like brother and sister as well. I want to know, in particular, like how he's around your daughter, or if he's around your daughter, in what way. Like, give me something very specific. Does she have like blonde curly hair or loose curls?
Yeah, it's wavy, blonde and wavy.
Yep. Does she walk around? I don't know how old she is. The way that he's showing me, she's probably about 3 or something. 3?
She's 9 now, but.
Oh, 9 now. So, yep. Okay.
When she was 3, though, she had real blonde little curls.
Okay, so that's what he's showing me. Does she walk around with like a white bunny, or I don't know what's in her hands? It feels like it's a teddy, but it doesn't feel like a teddy.
It was like a real soft minky. Yeah, it had a real soft minky blanket, and she called it a me, and it was like a real pale pink.
Does she like favor it more in her left hand? Because I feel her like knocking it in that left elbow.
She hasn't done it for so many years. I wouldn't remember, to be honest.
Yeah,
but yes, she used to tuck it up under that one arm, and she went nowhere without it. He
So
used to tease her and steal it and run off on her.
So he's just bringing more memories through for you. Does he call her my baby girl, or does he have like a nickname for her?
He does. He calls her. Well, he had a few, but mainly Little Nugget. Or
Little Nugget. Okay.
And he used to call me Bubba Beck.
Okay. I'm just thanking him for bringing that through, but I also want to know like how you're around like your daughter now, Beck, which is what I want to know. He also lets me know that you don't need to worry about her around boys, if that makes sense. There's a time around age 14 for your daughter where she's going to get a lot of male attention. He's letting me know that not to worry because he's taken it upon himself to make sure that she's safe and protected.
Oh,
So
that's
I don't know what's going on there. So he's like, not to worry. I'm not feeling anything there. Did she have a sleepover recently, or did somebody sleep over your house, like a best friend for her?
yeah.
Which way was that? Was it her sleeping over or somebody coming and sleeping
Well,
over?
she's autistic, so she doesn't really like to sleep over, but she has attempted a few and then comes home. But she quite regularly has her one little friend sleep over here.
Okay, great. Yeah, so he's acknowledging that, so he's bringing that through. Does she have like food preferences at the moment?
Yeah, so she will only eat very select and she won't do some textures and
He's showing me like hamburger meat. Does that make sense?
cheeseburgers from McDonald's because
Okay.
that's a thing.
Love it.
Oh, it's sad life.
But he's so good. Like, he's so clear with his communication. I'm loving this read. Oh my gosh. So that's just like little ways to, like, again, validate how he's around, what he's seeing, so that he can, like, relay that to me as well.
Yeah.
He also said, don't forget, just randomly, don't forget. Are you worried that you're going to forget parts of him or who he is or who he was? Or
Funny you say that because, like, I always say, like, well, he's been gone a while now, but we have, you know, all our Facebook memories, and I always say, but one day those Facebook memories aren't going to pop up. And
Yeah.
that's 100%.
Yeah. He also makes it feel like, while he's saying don't forget, he's also making it feel like he's not going to let you forget either. So I don't know if that, like, sounds like his personality.
Yeah,
But
that was such a character.
he's like, but I won't let her forget. I'm like, good, I'll pass it on. All right, so this is super random. He's just showing me a tent. What does a tent represent?
So we are very big camping. We always go. We always used to go, like, he used to come with us, and we still do go camping quite regularly.
Okay, is it just camping, or was somebody homeless for some time and lived in a tent for a bit?
He did. He was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what he's showing me. The reason he references that is because when I moved from Cairns to Rocky, I spent a bit of time at Yeppoon in a tent. So that's why he brings that through.
Yeah.
What did you say his dogs' names were? Was one beginning with an M?
Yeah, there was, oh no, his recent ones when he passed was Taser and Chase.
So if I say he's with a dog beginning with M, do you understand that?
No.
That's okay, because I'm throwing like a shit ton of info at you. So it might be like
whether he is happy with the decision that happened to his dogs, or that was another big heart jerker.
okay. I could be misreading that M too. Did they go to an M or not?
They went to his mother,
Okay.
but then, like, they were very attached to him, very, like,
Yeah.
and they were not in a good way, so she decided that it would be best to have them put down so that they could be with him.
Oh, right, gotcha.
And I always like
I
it.
see them as like going off their food and not eating and
Yeah,
laying around and looking for him.
Yeah, that's exactly how they were.
Oh, that's so sad.
But I always, like, I know it was the right thing, but I always feel like is that what he actually would have wanted? You know, like, because they meant everything to him.
Yeah. He doesn't actually say anything. Like, there's no malice there. There's no, nothing negative.
He never had a negative thing to say about anyone ever, even if they done him so much wrong. Like, he was a very...
Yeah. He's like, I can feel the sadness there, but I think I can feel it from you as well.
Yeah.
But he's also like, you know, he's also accepting as like, you guys did what you had to do at that time as well. Was there anything else that you wanted to ask him or see what you can get clarity around?
Just whether he had, you know, something for his mum. She's not coping. Still really doesn't. And also my mum brought his mum a rose when he passed. And it's never flowered. So what is wrong with the rose? It's just it's never
flowered. Why did I
Are you listening?
It's interesting because when you said rose, I saw black rose, and I'm like, and then you said it's never flowered.
Never flowered, no.
So that was given to his mum.
Yeah, from my mum. So the relationship is they were like best friends all our lives. We sort of grew up together. So that's how our...
The reason it's not growing is because when she looks at it, she feels hurt and pain and not feeling good.
Okay.
So that particular rose bush is feeling all of that and therefore not thriving in that environment.
Yeah.
So if she were to look at it with love instead and look at it as an extension of Joel, rather than looking at the suffering and the, you know, whatever she's got going on in her mind as to how she views the loss. Thank you so much, Em. That will change. And I feel like it's going to be a busy little bush too. The minute it changes and the minute she sort of tries to view that in a positive light, view his loss in a positive light. And I know that's really hard, you know, because no mother wants to lose their child. But it's almost hurtful for her to have that around because the memories are too strong and it, you know, it just reminds her of the loss too, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And what was the other question?
Just whether he had anything for his mum or my mum.
Yeah.
Any of us, really.
I had a random, it's so random, I don't know what to make of it. A banana peel, like almost like a cartoon style banana peel just laying on the floor. I have no idea what that's about. And I don't know if it's like bringing through, you know, jokes and being a funny bugger.
Maybe. He was always quite funny.
So for mum, I don't know, not your mum, his mum.
Yep.
I don't know how maybe you'd have an idea, maybe you've got the ability to ask her, but Joel shows me her sitting on the side of her bed, crying with her head in her arms, elbows on her knees, leaning over her bed, crying. So she's sitting on the bed, you know, leaning over feels like carpet. But he's sitting right beside her as well.
Yeah.
When she's having those moments. And as I'm sort of bringing that through for you, I'm also asking him at the same time, you know, is there, you know, what is physical, what is tangible that she can look at to know that it's you?
Yeah.
Does she have electrical problems? Because I know my laptop just sort of timed out at that convenient moment, and it could be just that. But I wonder if she had like.
Well, there's been some
Electrical
really
anyway.
big electrical storms in Collinsville for the last couple of days.
Oh, you guys always get that. Have you got hail with it?
No. So I'm in Bowen, so we haven't even really had any of the electrical storms, but Collinsville's had a big lot where his mum
Okay.
lives.
Yeah.
It's nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. Or at least it did until last time this
Feels like she's having either the TV flick on when these aren't, like when the storms aren't around, or radio in the background, or like flickering in the change stations, but not. So you're getting that bit of static coming through between. It reminds me of like these old dial radios.
She always has an old radio playing for her dogs.
So she's got to listen to that because that's how he comes through.
Okay.
Because even now, like as I'm talking to you, I'm getting interference with you. Like there's this radio sound in the background that's sort of trying to change channels, and you're hearing the whoop between like stations almost. My bird usually pipes up when there's like something that you need to pay attention to, and he's like, pass that on.
I was just going to say that I've not heard your bird at all in any of your lives, and then I can hear it.
He comes through when like the spirit message is strong, and he's like, yes, like it's like confirmation. Like it's almost like a little game in the live. Like people will like listen out for him. Say hi, birdie. But see how he gets louder and louder?
Yeah.
Because he's like, that's the bit that's going to connect with mum. Makes sense for mum. I just told him thank you, and he's shut up. So
That's amazing.
I feel like he's also answering your bird too. Because he's here in the background too.
Yeah, it does that too. That's Ellie's bird. He can talk and everything now.
Do the dogs lay in front of the radio too? Did you say his mum has dogs? Dog or dogs?
Dog.
I can't hear over Birdie. Is it one dog? Sorry, Beck.
She has dogs.
Okay, dogs. Because he's showing me them laying in this. It's like sitting up on this shelf, and they kind of like lay near it, or not so much under it. Probably like 1.5 meters away from it. And like if they look up, they can see the radio or the stereo.
Yeah. Yep, they have a whole bedroom and they've got a stereo in there that's constantly old radio that's constantly going.
If they set up if they have the means to do so, but if they set up a camera in that room, they will see the dogs lifting their head and watching from one end of wherever this shelf is. So one end of the shelf and across, it feels like right to left. As they're looking, because to me it feels like the door's to their left, or the left of the bedroom. The door is to the left of the bedroom, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the dogs, it's almost like he walks in front of the dogs and they follow him left to right. So from the bedroom heading out towards the door, if the door is on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
And for your mum, what's coming through for your mum? Does mum sit out on like a patio chair, like a glass table and chairs? Does that make sense?
She's on a rocking chair in front of her fish tank.
But
yeah, she has a little veranda that's all full of plants that she does sit out on.
Does it have like a little glass table or something as well, or no?
No.
That's right. Does mum cross her legs on the rocking chair?
Yeah.
Have her legs crossed? Yeah. So he's showing me that.
On a little rocking footstool, and she sits there with her legs up and crossed.
Yeah. So that's what he's showing me. So that's basically to say that he's around you.
Yeah.
But I want to know if there's anything tangible or anything physical that you guys can take away as well to keep an eye out for. Does Mum have roses and gardenias or just roses?
My mum.
Yeah.
She has like nearly every plant. I couldn't even start to name them.
Yeah.
She has that.
I can smell, like, for me, I can smell, like, not gardenias, geraniums, rose and geraniums, because I have rose and geranium essential oil, and that's kind of some of the smells that he's bringing through. Does Mum feel like her hair is being pulled up at times? Just a few strands.
I'll just ask her, Mum.
Tell me this, is Mum's hair shorter? A little bit spikier up front? Darker with highlights?
It's grey and then it's got like blonde.
Yeah.
It's shortish, but it sticks up. She calls it her rooster hair sometimes.
Yes, yes. So he's showing me that he's pulling the strands up that she doesn't like that's poking up. He's pulling some of those.
Yep, that absolutely happens to her all the time.
Next time that happens, just say "G'day, Joel," and just start the conversation, or listen and be silent and see how your body responds or feels, or any thoughts that pop into your head. He's not showing me anything else there, Beck.
That's okay.
He actually gets quite a kick out of pulling Mum's hair.
She always hated it. It's funny. That's so good. Thank you so much.
You're so very welcome, Beck. Thanks for being patient with me, and thanks for letting Tracy jump in ahead of you.
That's okay. Thank you so much.
It turned out the way it did too.
It did. It was amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.